There's a well-known story about a man who lives in a far-off land. And this man has a deep belief in God. And one day in the community that he lives, there's an enormous storm and there's floods and everybody's life is under threat. And he climbs onto the top of his house as the waters start to rise, and he's looking for help. And as those waters start to rise, another big strong man walks past with the water just up to his waist and says to him, "Come off your roof and I will carry you. I will carry you to safety." And the man on the roof says, "No, thank you anyway. I have a deep belief in God. He will rescue me. I will be okay." And the rains continued and the flood waters continued to rise until they got to the man's feet, lapping at his feet as he stood on top of his house. And another guy came past in a boat and said, "Come into my boat. I will save you. I will rescue you, and I will take you to dry land." And our man in our story said, "No, it's okay. I believe in God. He will rescue me. He will save me." And the man went off in his boat. Well, the waters continued to rise and the rain continued to lash down. And as the waters rose, they came up to the man's shoulders. And overhead he saw a helicopter. And the pilot shouted down, "I will lower a rope and I will save you and I will take you to safety." And the man, now with water up to his chin, said, "It is okay, thank you. I believe in God. God will save me. God will rescue me and take me to safety." Well, it continued to rain and the waters continued to rise, and the man drowned and he died and he went to heaven and he met God for the first time. And he said, "God, you let me down. I've spent my life worshipping you. I've spent my life following you. I've spent my life having a deep faith in you. Where were you at my hour of need?" And God said, "You know, I sent you another man. I sent you a boat and I sent you a helicopter. What else did you want from me?" And you know, it's a great story. And for me, it's not a story about faith, about whether you believe in God or not. The reality is that in the whole history of mankind, right now is the best time ever for you to experience bad mental health. What do I mean by that? I mean, now more than ever, we know the ways to help people that have experienced or are experiencing depression or anxiety or low mood. Now, no one wants to go through that. And you know, I've shared the bone-crushing anxiety and deep, dark depression that I had. But I think sometimes we forget about what opportunities there are to help us out there. And for me, and as I read about people and hear from you guys about what you're experiencing, still too many people accept that this is their lot, accept that they're going to live their life with poor mental health, and there's no answers out there. And I always say, don't I, that we never say that if it comes to a broken leg. We never just live with a broken leg. We never just live with a chest infection. We do stuff to put it right. But far too often, we don't use the things around us that are available. Now, I get that medication doesn't work for everyone, a small group of people, but medication isn't just the answer. I get that therapy perhaps isn't for everyone, but for a lot of people, it's fantastically helpful. I get when you're really struggling with your mental health, it's harder than ever to get some fresh air or get some exercise or eat healthily. I get when you're really struggling with depression that you don't want to talk to people. I get as a guy, it's really hard to open up emotionally. But if we shared a story about a man ending his life because he was hoping for an answer to come for mental health, then you could imagine someone saying, well, I sent medication, I sent therapy, I sent ways to keep yourself fit and healthy and eat healthy. I gave you opportunities to speak to people. I gave you a guy on a video who's sharing his experiences of anxiety and mental health, and he gives you advice and tips to follow. So if you are suffering and you are experiencing poor mental health, I've been there. I know how awful it is, and I know how difficult it is to reach out for help. But I also know that you have to dig deep and you have to find that courage to get out there and see what can help. Just because some medication hasn't worked for you doesn't mean all medications will never work. Keep trying, keep asking questions. Just because you've had therapy before and it didn't help doesn't mean that all therapists can't help you. Just because you've done a bit of exercise or you've tried a new approach to sorting your mental health doesn't mean that all experiences and all approaches are not going to help your mental health. My encouragement is please keep trying. Please keep searching. Don't give in to you having to have poor mental health for the rest of your life. You don't have to put up with it. How do I know? Because I've been there, guys. I've been there, and yes, I did have to dig deep, and yes, I did have to find courage, and yes, it was incredibly hard. But I know that if I can do it, then you can do it too.